Hey, what is going on, everybody? My name is Dean, or as you know me, Twisty3 on the YouTubes here. We are looking today at Cricket 19. We got an official release date of May 28 or 29, I think it might be one of those. May 28, so that's a Wednesday. It's going to be coming out on, and there are a couple of things I want to talk about. Obviously, we got this new trailer that you would have seen at the start of the video, and I'm sort of putting it up on screen as well. But there's one thing in particular about this trailer I want to look at. It's not the box art, it's not the national anthem, it's actually how the trailer starts. And you'll be like, Dean, well, what is this? What do you mean? There's just a little cutscene here of a little bit of a newspaper, and it says Lords looms as linchpin test. Now, this is obviously something I think is going to be doing with the career mode, because, or indeed just an Ashes series in general. So if you are playing an Ashes series, I don't know if Lords is the first test of the Ashes this year. Let me have a look. So Lords is actually the second test of the Ashes this year, which will mean that, it could be the key catalyst. I don't know if it's going to say it every time you're playing that second Ashes test that Lords looms as the linchpin test, you know what I mean? Like if it's a win one way or a draw or something, maybe it says something else rather than that headline. And I think that these headlines are going to be seen a lot throughout career mode, because this is something we sort of heard about earlier in the press release. I'm going to point to the one line. This is one sentence in the original press release that I just feel like this is entirely pointed towards. And it says, and I quote, "Enhancements to the career mode build a story around your player. How you look in the news headlines affects your potential career trajectory." So, obviously we're not going to get a full-blown story mode here, but obviously whatever they have done to career mode will help you sort of build some kind of, character, I guess, in terms of how you are perceived, and especially here, how you look in the news headlines affects your potential career trajectory is a massive thing, because it's like, all right, are we going to have more off-field choices or more off-field decision making that we might even see end up in some of these newspapers? Like, if for me, example, it could be like Dean Millet set to debut or something in the Australian newspaper or whatever. Like something like that, I think could be really, really cool. So obviously we are yet to see anything like that. Really, in terms of, we don't know how it's going to work in career mode. This is all we've got, so this is all I'm trying to go off here. And if you go back to the last game and you look at the headlines in the last game, it was actually in that inbox tab, which I never ever used because there was never any need to ever use it. So I think if they move those headlines onto that main career mode screen, it might be a little bit better. And that sort of showed all the lineups, stuff like that. Maybe you'll get one like a scout is looking at this match. Like, so if you're watching a match, you could potentially get double selection points if someone important is watching. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with ideas here, but I definitely think this is going to be a really cool thing, especially if you're seeing a lot of these headlines, like this guy, your career player is going to debut, or this guy's on the outer type thing, your player is rising up the ranks. I just think it's like a nice little add-on thing. And obviously, if you are making choices about off-field things, like which club you play at, if you're making a trade to another club, or if you are sort of out of form or in form, you get to see that sort of before each match you go into. That would kind of be really cool, because I guess that way it's like you are playing, but it's sort of, the world is very focused on you, I think would be a very cool thing to do for the career mode. So anyway, that line again, I'll just read it out for you just in case you missed it a little bit earlier. Enhancements to the career mode build a story around your player. How you look in the news headlines affects your potential career trajectory. So I'm just going to go over that last 5 words there, or like that last little bit, how you look in the news headlines affects your potential career trajectory. Now, I was talking to someone a little bit earlier, and they were thinking maybe it could work a little bit like the Journey does in FIFA, where you've got sort of you get like posed a question and you got like a few responses. You can have like a fiery response, which the fans love, but the coach hates. You can have like a calmer response, which the fans hate, but the coach loves. And you could have like, I think, a neutral one, which sort of has a balance between the two. So something like that as well. Obviously, selection things could be involved with that. But I think it's definitely something that's going to be very interesting once we really learn a heap more details. As I said, it's coming out May 28th. We will talk more about it as we see more trailers, more gameplays. I'm going to see what I can do in terms of getting a little bit of an early look for you guys, but it's highly unlikely, but I'll see what I can do. All right. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Cricket 19 coming May 28th. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, I highly recommend you do so, because I'm going to have a stack of content for it when it does come out, including covering the World Cup content throughout it when the World Cup begins on the 31st of May. There's so much more to talk about with this. We've got career mode, we've got scenarios, we've got the World Cup, we've got whether or not there are any other licenses. It doesn't look like it at this stage, but you just never know. Anyway, I'm leaving the door open for that one, because I have this sense that something more might be at play. But so far we can't really tell otherwise. That is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all later. Goodbye.